In the previous One Piece Day stream, they revealed two super rares from OP-05, which is Trafalgar Law and Eustass Kid. But since then, they've been revealing a lot of cards from OP-05, and some of them have been really powerful super rares. So in today's video, we're going to talk about all of the super rares that's been revealed thus far, but there's still some that has not been revealed. So once they have been revealed, I'll do a part 2 and talk about all the remaining super rares, and then we should be ready for OP-05. That's coming out at the end of the month. So let's start with our first one, which is none other than Eustass Kid. Alright, so Eustass Kid and Trafalgar Law, they've been revealed during the One Piece Day stream. So Eustass Kid is a 5-cost 6,000 power character with blocker alone. Good stats, great stats. And on your turn, once per turn, when you return Dawn from your field to your Dawn deck, add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as active, and with counter 1000. So this particular Eustass Kid super rare is actually really good in any purple based deck. It's great in red purple Luffy, red purple Law, but also in red purple Eustass Kid, who alone like bumps up himself. So you know, people, if you bought the ultimate deck, this would be a really good addition to that if you're using the Eustass Kid leader, because as long as you Dawn minus something, you get it back. So it's like you get it back as active, so you can kind of continue your plays or leave up that 1 Dawn for, you know, future counters or whatever, like Blast Breath. So it's really quite good. The fact that there's a blocker, and if you're using it in leaders like red purple Luffy or even red purple Eustass Kid, who wants to be at a low life count, at the late game you do want some protection. So having a blocker on this card itself is really quite good. Now you have access to the 4-cost Trafalgar Law blocker, this blocker, and Queen. So the thing about this 5-cost 6,000 Eustass Kid is that it's competing with the Queen slot. Queen is also a 5-cost 6,000 power blocker, but it does give an additional 2 cards. You know, draw 2, discard 1 just by Dawn minusing 1. And it works really well with this because you don't have to, if you Dawn minus with Queen, you get it back with Eustass Kid. But it's competing for that same slot. So I do see like future decks maybe playing like a split, like a 2-2 split, or even like a 3-1 split. I do think that there's a place for Eustass Kid in the upcoming metagame. It is a very powerful effect, and it's a blocker, so it has decent stats as well. It's a playable card, that's for sure. Maybe in gearing towards the red purple Eustass Kid leader, then this is a perfect card for that leader in particular. And I'm excited to see what other purple based decks, like, you know, will Magellan use it, will Kaido even use it, because you know you get some Dawns back, so that's really quite good. Then you can ramp even further with Onagashima. I think this is a really solid purple card, very versatile, we'll definitely see play in the future. And the next card we're going to talk about is Trafalgar Law. This Trafalgar Law is very interesting because it's 3-cost 5,000 power, you know, solid law things. When attacking, if your opponent has more Dawn than you, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Heart Pirates type card and add it to your hand. Then put the rest at the bottom in any order. So this is a situational searcher. First, you need to be attacking. 2, your opponent has to have more Dawn than you, and 3, you're searching for Heart Pirates type cards specifically. You can use this to search for, you know, the 4-cost Trafalgar Law blocker from the ultimate deck, which is really quite good. And also there's been a lot of Heart Pirates that have been revealed in the ultimate deck itself that could be useful. Maybe you can use it in the red purple Trafalgar Law leader itself, so that's actually really quite awesome. However, we have not seen a whole slew of Heart Pirates type cards, especially in purple, besides the ones from the ultimate deck. So I'm expecting there might be a little bit more coming to OP-05 to kind of see if it, you know, make it work. But having a searcher that you can search on when attacking is really good, because we've seen this kind of effect of when attacking search in Film Nami. Even though you have to pay 1, this one you don't even have to pay anything, but you do have to make sure that your opponent has more Dawn than you. So when you're using it in like red purple Law, maybe you're using the attacking search ability after you have used red purple's Law's ability. You Dawn minus a bunch of Dawn, and then you're definitely going to be lesser Dawn than your opponent, and then you search. You know, it could be that kind of situation. If not, you can just time it with other effects that just Dawn minus 1 or even Dawn minus 2. So that's, you know, that's good enough as it is. So I'm curious to see whether this search is going to make its way. I'm pretty searches are really strong and it's definitely playable. It's just because it's Heart Pirates. If you're only searching for Law, would it be enough? Because there's really a lot of strong Heart Pirates type cards right now in purple from the ultimate deck that you want to be searching for. So definitely playable. Just want to see which shell this ends up in. Alright, moving on to the super rare that I'm most excited about. It's Enel. It's Enel. 7-cost 7,000 power, part of Sky Island with Rush. This is a yellow card, a really strong solid top end with Rush. You just plop it down, boom, you're attacking. And he also has the second ability of once per turn, if this character were to be removed from the field, you may trash the top card of your life instead. If character Monkey D. Luffy is on the field, this effect may not be activated. So let's break it down. So the first one, it makes it a hard threat to be to remove. It's a sticky threat for sure. Enel wants to, it's like a revival ability, which, in the kind of grand scheme of flavor, it does pay attention to like Enel's ability, Leather ability, when he restarted his heart, similar to his leader effect itself. We've seen this kind of effect in the, I believe it's the super rare podcast DAs from the Yamato starter deck. Once per turn, if this character will be KO'd, you may trash one card from the top or bottom of your life cards instead. It has not really seen a lot of play, surprisingly, because just not a lot of people are playing it. But in a dedicated like Enel build, because it has Rush and it can be searched, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a Skypiea searcher in OP-05. This would be a really good addition. And because it's a top end card, it's one of your, I would say, quote unquote finishers, or one of the top end cards that you want to be pushing game with. Keeping it around, making it sticky, hard to be removed, it's really quite good. However, if you are at too low of a life, because if you have one life left and then Enel's on the field, then you have to kind of make a choice. Do you want to protect this Enel, or you want to make sure that your leader ability procs? Something like that. And the second effect, if character Monkey D. Luffy is on the field, this effect may not be activated. It's just a flavor win. It's just like 100% flavor on point. This may be a problem though in terms of like playability, because there's been a lot of Luffy recently. The 10 cost super rare Luffy from the ultimate deck is kind of making waves as well. 5 cost rush Luffy, and in certain situations you may find yourself like, oh shoot, there's a Monkey D. Luffy on the field, I can't revive my Enel. So just gotta keep that in mind. However, I do think that it may come up organically in a couple of games, but it's still a really powerful card, and I really do love the art. Hopefully the super rare alternate art gets the Enel face that everybody's waiting for. Fingers crossed for that, but I love this card. It's really good. Next, let's talk about Borsalino. 7 cost, 8000 power, part of the Marines. On play, place up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or lower to the bottom of its owner's deck. This card is strong, no doubt about it. I mean, yes, it doesn't affect like higher costed cards, but hey, we have a black-blue Sakazuki leader that can minus something by 1. So essentially, it's a cost 5 or lower, if you can kind of swing it that way. And black has a lot of cost minus abilities in its arsenal, so you can even reduce something by like a lot. Maybe bring a Big Mom down to 5, use Sakazuki's ability to 4, and then play down Borsalino and then ship it to the bottom of the deck. The fact that it doesn't bounce is really good, because removing it to the bottom of the deck means it's like you're not gonna get it back. Your opponent's not gonna get it back 100%. And I think that this Borsalino is going to be a really good staple card for blue moving forward. It's just really powerful. Even if you don't utilize the full effect, meaning that you don't bring like something that's 8 or higher down to a cost 4, even if you're just removing like a 4 cost Marco the Phoenix blocker, just by playing Borsalino is great enough. It's so good. I think Borsalino is going to be a new blue staple for sure. And blue just has a lot. You're going to bottom deck everything. Blue just going to be super annoying. Next up, let's talk about the super rare Rebecca. I'm glad Rebecca is in this set. She is going to be one of the few chase cards, because I know a lot of people like Rebecca, and the fact that she's going to get an alternate art means something. The regular artwork is really great as well. So this Rebecca has blocker. It's a 4 cost 0 power with blocker, and on play, return up to 1 black character other than Rebecca with a cost of 3 to 7 from the trash to your hand. Then play 1 cost 3 or less black character from your hand to the field rested with counter 1000. So this Rebecca, now first of all, it has blocker, so it's gonna be useful for black decks in the future. And there's a lot of black characters from 3 to 7 in the Dressrosa archetype. You got your Kairos, you got your Cavendish, you have Olympus, so many powerful ones. And of course 7 means you're gonna get back the 7 cost Luffy from OP-04, which is one of the main finishers for any blue black dress Rebecca leader out there. So if your opponent, if you're not playing blue, manages to get rid of that Luffy and you want it back, you can play Rebecca, bring it back. And the fact that you can play a cost 3 or less black character from your hand to the field rested like essentially for free, is really good. Means that you can play out Rebecca, you can get back something from your trash, and then you can play out like a Kairos for free. That's really good. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with blue decks, the big answer to like the 7-cost Luffy is, of course, Gomu Gomu no Red Rock or other like bottom deck effects for Luffy. But still, against other decks that destroy put Luffy in your trash, then this is a good way to get it back. I don't think you should always aim for Luffy. I think there's a lot of characters that you can be aiming for, because Olympus ability, like you need to KO a Dressrosa type character. You can, you know, KO and then bring it back with Rebecca to your hand. I think the reason why it affects only 3 to 7 is that it doesn't want you to KO the Searcher, bring it back to your hand, play Rebecca, and then play out the Searcher in the following turn or when you have extra Dawns. So this is kind of their way to balance it. I think it's a really decent card. I want to see how Dressrosa players or how Blue-Black Rebecca players utilizes Rebecca super rare in the future metagame. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but actually there was an earlier super rare that's been revealed. It's none other than Pica. Pica, you know, the GOAT, one of the best characters that's been revealed in like the Dressrosa arc. So Pica is a 4-cost 6000 power character, part of the Don Quixote Pirates. At the end of your turn, you may pay 1, set this character as active. So that alone really good because you can attack with it, pay 1, set it as active. That's great. And once per turn, if this character would be KO'd, you may instead rest one of your other 3-cost or less characters not named Pica. If you have another character, another Dressrosa type character, which you should have, you know, maybe a Sugar that you have not used the effect on, or you know, you can rest it, then yeah, you can essentially save Pica and it can stick around. So it's a like sticky threat for green. It's dependent on whether you have another character or not that's cost 3 or less that's not named Pica, but I do think that it's a solid mid-range, you know, Doflamingo family type card. There's been more reviews from OP-05 that would benefit like the Don Quixote family type deck for, you know, purple green Doflamingo. One of it is a dedicated searcher in the form of Baby 5. So that's really good. I think Pica is going to be a powerful card, good enough that it can probably hold its own against the metagame, but we gotta wait and see whether it's like utilized as effectively, because I really like cards that you can attack with, pay 1 and then restand it so that it's protected the next turn. Works well. Diamante, you can have 2 things that attack and then restand at the end of turn. That's great. I love it. Alright, and the last super rare that's been revealed so far as for the recording of this video is a Sabo. Sabo is a 6-cost 7000 power revolutionary army. On play, KO up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a total power of 4000 or less. So it's up to 2, means you can just KO one that's 4k or less, or if you kind of spread it around, works well. If you can kind of lower the power level of 2 of your opponent's characters and then you play out the Sabo, you can potentially KO it. Round Table works as well. So there's an interaction with Round Table that essentially like reduces stuff to like negative. So whether or not that kind of like stacks up, I'm not sure, but yeah, like I said, Round Table works really well with it. You can get rid of a big threat as well as something that's 4000 power or less. So that's really, really powerful. It's a great removal. It's on play. It's a slightly more versatile Marco the Phoenix, and it's 6-cost 7000 power. So the stat line is kind of decent as well. We gotta see how well Red uses this. I don't think it's like push in a certain way. It's a removal for Red. But we gotta see how this works well with like Velo Betty, for example, because it is Revolutionary Army. Maybe that's the deck that he wants to go to. There's a lot of we haven't seen the whole Revolutionary Army like cards. We've seen a couple here and there. So I think Sabo will be really useful in the future, especially if the Revolutionary Army archetype gets, or at least Red, gets more minus power type of effects, which Red already has, like, you know, Otama, Gordon, and now like even like Round Table, which works really well on its own with Sabo. So really excited about that. I think that because this is the artwork that's been revealed, there was another one that's been revealed, and I probably think that that is going to be the alternate art. So we have to wait and see. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but once it is, gotta make a video about it. So there you go. That should be every single super rare that's been revealed so far for OP-05. I might be missing here and there. If I am, I'm gonna cover them in the part 2, which means there should be 3 more super rares that's been revealed. Let me know in the comment section below if I'm wrong. But so far, I've been enjoying the review so far. They've been kind of pumping out OP-05 like crazy. I will not talk about every single card because I'm going to do like a review once the full set is out 1 week before release, and then we're going to probably talk about it more cohesively in a future video. So let me know which super rare is your favorite. Mine's Enel, 100%. I can't wait to play Enel day one. Anyway, that's it from me for today. But if you guys have not seen the secret rares of OP-05, maybe you should click on this video.